Hi everyone, nice to see you all again and welcome to my home. My name's Angela from Two Sisters Vineyards.
And I'm Melissa.
We are sisters and we are here to show you what we love to do the most, and that is cooking. We've got some amazing recipes for spring, summer, and Melissa, this is one recipe that I can eat all year long for sure, that your beautiful cauliflower bake. So go ahead.
So I have to say I'm obsessed with cauliflower. I love it roasted, I love it baked into pastas.
Roasted in the oven is amazing.
It is, with olive
some
oil
good salt,
and salt and pepper, yep. So this is pretty easy. It's a two-step process. So it starts on the stove and then it ends off in the oven because it has to bake all together. But it's very easy and really super good. It reminds me of a mac and cheese because I do add a lot of Italian cheeses, which gives it a wonderful flavor.
And our kids love it too.
They do. So I'm going to start off with I'm sauteing olive oil with garlic, but I'm going to leave the garlic whole so I can take it out after, because the garlic is it'll end up resembling the cauliflower, and I don't want anybody to eat the garlic thinking it's a piece of cauliflower. So I do keep it whole. I give it a bit of a crush just so that it can release its juices when it's in the olive oil on the stove. So just a bit of a crush.
Do you add chili to your olive oil too?
Oh yes, this one here I add a kick. So I'm going to use some olive oil, beautiful Kitchen 76 olive oil, which actually is available online and in store. It's delicious, really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to add it to my pot with my garlic. So I add my olive oil to my garlic, about half a cup of olive oil, because this olive oil is going to be the flavor base to the pasta. And my chili flakes. So I'm going to add a nice pinch of chili flakes. I'm going to put it on medium-low. And I just want it to start cooking. So what I like to do just to get it going is like to kind of tilt it so I have a nice little pool here that the garlic is sitting in. And it'll start to come to a boil. And I'll lower the heat just so it starts to flavor the olive oil.
That smells so good.
I know.
So if we were to boil some spaghetti and mix it in there, a spaghetti aglio olio, that would be
100%.
one of our favorite dishes too at 10 p.m. on a Friday night.
Oh,
when we've been somewhere and didn't eat too well.
So what I'm going to do now while that's cooking, so you really want the garlic to infuse in the olive oil with the chili and just let it do its thing for about 5-7 minutes on low. Do not burn the garlic, it changes the flavor completely. And then I want to prepare my cauliflower. So, you know, they're big florets, so I do want to cut them smaller because that way it'll kind of meld really well with the short tubed pasta that I'm using. So I like to cut it in 4.
While you do that, Emily, do you want me to start cutting that cheese?
I would love that.
Great, so let's put this here, and I'm just gonna swoosh over there.
So the cheese I'm going to have Angela cube because I'm going to be using that after the pasta is cooked on the stove, or cooked maybe like a couple of minutes less than what is needed, because then everything gets baked in the oven with cheese and breadcrumbs on top. So she's going to start doing that. Small cubes.
Okay, great.
I'm going to need 1 cup of provolone. Now it's not, when you go to the store and you see provolone, there's mild provolone and picante provolone, which is a little bit more of a spicier taste to it. You have to get the mild one because the spicy one will be a little too much for this pasta bake. It'll overpower a little bit too much. So
is this okay?
No, half.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit less. Yeah, just half of that, and that's perfect.
I'll go back and all. So in Italy, they take these rounds and they put them on a grill to soften, and then they put it on bread. It is the most delicious thing you will ever eat. With that mountain air, we have memories eating melted provolone.
Yeah, just like that, my dad used to, remember he used to put foil paper in the oven and put slices, large slices, and just let it cook and soften, delicious. And we would just peel it off the aluminum foil and eat it.
With some homemade sausages.
Yes, on the grill, just amazing. You can even use mozzarella. So if you don't have provolone, you can use just a mozzarella you find at the grocery store that's in the plastic wrap, not the fresh one, because it's too watery. So just a nice melting mozzarella.
But I have to say, Emily, I think this is much more flavorful.
100%. If you can find
because it's sharper.
This, yes.
It's got a sharp flavor to it.
Yeah.
And listen, let's face it, cauliflower isn't the most flavorful vegetable. So you need to add, it's a great vegetable to add layers to.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I bet you could even put some bits of prosciutto in this bake.
You so could.
Yeah.
You can
or sausage.
Saute. Yeah, you can saute either ground sausage, or you can dice up prosciutto, pancetta.
Yeah, or guanciale.
Yeah. And saute it till it's nice and crispy, and then you fold it in, and it just adds another level of flavor. And a little hit of saltiness, which is always really nice.
So Melissa, what wine are you pairing with this dish?
So this dish goes beautifully with the Sauvignon Blanc. It's nice and dry. It just goes really, really well and offsets the sharpness that comes from the cheeses that I'm including in it. And no, it's just wonderful with this wine. Yeah.
Because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
And it's a nice contrast to that sharp cheese and the cauliflower, and it breaks it really nicely.
It does. And I'm going now back to my pot, which now I can smell in the kitchen and infuse with the garlic and the chili pepper. And there's a certain way that now I cook it and I assemble it with the pasta. There we go. So as you can see, I got my olive oil nicely kind of going with my garlic, and I'm throwing my cauliflower right into this flavored olive oil. So what's going to happen is everything's going to be infused with the garlic and the olive oil and the cauliflower. I add my water into it and it cooks all together.
How much water do you put?
6 cups. 6 cups of liquid, and then I add my pasta into the water and it bakes all together.
Okay, great. So that's a one pot dish.
Yeah, it is. So now I'm going to be adding my water into it. So 6 cups of water, but eyeball it because you need it to all cover the pasta and the cauliflower. You don't want to add too much water because then your actual pasta bake will be too liquidy. Oh wait, oh there we go. The next step of this pasta bake is adding in the pasta to the actual water and cauliflower. You need a short tube pasta, something short. I found this one, it's a lot of fun. It's actually different shapes.
Love it.
It's a beautiful pasta brand. There's Di Cecco, there's pasta brand, there's a few other ones that are artisanal pastas that are die cut. Look for that. Slow drying die cut artisanal pastas. It just adds a creaminess to the actual pasta, the liquid itself, which adds a creaminess to the whole dish. So because of that die cut,
It's that starch,
really makes
that
a
additional
difference.
starch.
Exactly. So this is what I'm using today. It's a fun pasta. And I add this directly into my pot. So I add in my pasta. And now I see I have to add a little bit more water because I need the water, the liquid, to cover the pasta. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water here. And because I'm adding more water, I am going to add a little bit more salt as well.
So Emily, how long will this cook for?
So now I'm going to be cooking the pasta until it's just al dente, because then it has to do a second process of cooking.
So you're not draining it?
No, it cooks in the...
Oh, wow. See, I'm always so insecure to do that, thinking that my pasta won't cook enough or I'm going to lose water, but you just gauge it as you go along with water.
Yeah, just a bit more salt. So now I'm going to be cooking the pasta until it's al dente, but even just a little bit sooner than that because it's going to finish baking in the oven. At this time, I'm going to try and fish out my garlic. So my pasta and cauliflower is ready to be put into my baking dish. I do have to prepare it first by just rubbing the inside with butter, and then I'm going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs so it's easy to come out of the dish when I'm serving it.
So we're on to step 2.
We are.
This is a nice Sunday lunch dish.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to make it go all the way around so that it sticks to the sides and the bottom. So these are seasoned breadcrumbs. You can also use unseasoned as well, which personally I prefer, but just for kind of a little bit of an added flavor, I just use the seasoned. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes. So now I'm going to put my pasta right into my baking dish.
I'm excited because we get to taste this for everybody afterwards. Oh, yummy.
So you'll see there's still liquid, a little bit of liquid. So it is still very creamy.
Hold on, Emily. Let me just get those little morsels. Delicious. This is such a great pasta, and you're right, it is interesting.
It is.
Lots of different cuts.
Wonderful. So I have about a cup of cheese here, the provolone that Angela had diced up. So we're just going to put that in. And then Angie, what you're gonna do is just tuck in the cheese. Just a little bit. It's about a cup. Okay, go ahead.
I love this.
Isn't it
It's like the perfect little size.
perfect?
Things you could find online. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So you just tuck in the cubes of cheese within the mixture. Wonderful. See how creamy that is?
Now, would you add the leftover pieces on top?
You could. I just, you know, I did cube up a little where you had cubed up a little bit more.
Awesome,
You
Malie.
could if you
Add
want,
it
if
on
you want
top.
it really cheesy, go for it.
Yeah,
There's
think
no
it'll-
rules. Yeah, there we go.
Tastes better.
Okay. And then the breadcrumbs. I'm going to put the breadcrumbs on top. Okay, nice. All the way around.
To give it that crunch.
Okay, great. So it's just got a nice even coating. Just pat it down so it's all even. Okay. And I'm gonna add more cheese, but Angie, if you can just sprinkle a little bit of the Parmigiano on top.
Sure.
Not too much, just enough. There we go. Perfect. Wonderful.
Smells so good.
And just some butter on top, just evenly spread out.
Yummy.
Because it also helps to crisp up that the breadcrumbs. This is beautiful butter.
Oh, it's like, I know, it's organic, it's amazing. And you could tell that beautiful color.
And salted. I have to-
Yes,
and even
I
if-
always use salted.
Yes, even if a recipe, unless it's dessert, asks for unsalted, I always
Always.
use salted.
Yeah, just take it. And you know what, Malie, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna grab a little bit more cheese and just place it on top, just a bit, because it will, it'll melt so nicely and give it that crunch that everybody looks for in a baked pasta dish.
Beautiful.
Okay, great.
Okay, this is how it looked before. So now I'm going to be putting this in the oven for about 40 minutes at 375 until it's golden and just bubbling. So you want to open up the oven for me?
Sure.
Thanks. And it's ready.
That looks
Oh, that's
amazing.
wonderful. The cheese melted on top. It's beautiful.
See, I told you to add it on top.
Yep.
Oh,
Like
that
it's
looks
bubbling.
so good.
It's wonderful.
Okay, so talk to me. When did you first come up with this recipe? And is it a recipe that Mommy had done or Nonna in the past? Because I remember she did do cauliflower bake,
She
but
did.
you used a different cheese,
She used potatoes.
different
in hers.
pasta.
So with this one here, I just thought, how else can I use cauliflower? Because I love eating cauliflower, and I thought, let me bake it all together in one dish. By flavoring that olive oil, it all kind of is all infused together, and then the pasta soaks up all that pasta water with the olive oil. And pairing it with the Sauvignon Blanc, it's not easy to pair cauliflower, but I find with the addition of all the cheeses, there's so much flavor going on.
Yes.
Because you've added the cheese and you have that garlic and all of that. The freshness and the citrus notes of the Sauvignon Blanc, I think, go really, really well with this dish. Really well.
I
It's
agree.
just fresh. It's such a welcoming contrast to the richness of the pasta bake, but still, it's not rich. It's still light in a way. You know?
Yeah. There's not an overabundance of cheese.
No, it's just enough.
Oh, it's so
And if you
good.
see that it's dried up a lot, so it just also.
And I do love the corner.
And it's literally like a.
Thank you.
It's like a mac and cheese. It really is. And it's creamy. My mouth is watering.
Yeah, cauliflower does cook down really well.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So should we try the wine first? Get our palate
100%,
going
yes.
and ready?
Cheers.
Cheers, Lisa. Thank you so
Cheers.
much.
Oh, that's delicious.
It is nice and crisp,
it's
and you do
fresh.
taste those citrus notes.
You do.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, literally, it's like a mac and cheese. Look at that. And
Yeah,
all the
it's
fun
delicious.
pasta shapes.
Wow.
But again, any short tube pasta would be wonderful. Isn't that good? That's really good.
I love the pasta that you used because they're all different shapes and sizes, and I like that. I like how it's you know, it kind of blends in with the cauliflower.
But even if you use like a
it's
casareccia
delicious.
or a
Yeah.
smaller penne, it would be wonderful.
Very good, Melissa.
How'd you like it?
Cheers, Melissa.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. This is delicious. Cheers to all of you. I hope you enjoy this at home as well. Cheers.